Yo, what's up guys? New video of Hijoe Explains today. FNCS. We will do a watch review after FNCS. Not the finals, not the semifinals, but the opens, guys. I mean, if you don't even call past opens, there's no point in me watch reviewing the semifinals or anything else and teach you how to play in these because the opens are kinda different. So I will show you a game of Mr. Savage and Verdiel. This 9-kill win, which is, I think, pretty impressive. Because you could see, like, after the 4th game, they were basically in high elo lobby that probably a lot of points around this time were, like, top 5 maybe even. And then they still got this 9 eliminations win, which is pretty impressive. Now, I think, it's pretty easy to get, like, into the top 100 at least one time within the tournament. But then to also stay there is pretty hard. So I will show you the best tips, how you can still win games and do good when you're in the high elo lobby. Also guys, if you have never like the best double key on in the beginning, you don't even need to double key. Double key in FNCS, if you're not the best fighter, is pretty hard because you need to be aware that the players in FNCS are better because you need a higher rank to participate instead of like in the cash cup, for example. So you can also maybe just play endgame every round and then win the game safe and also get into a top 100 situation or top 200. So Verdiel and Mr. Savage are uncontested in Naughty Nets. And let's take a look at the loadouts. So Verdiel, MK and the Havoc Pump. Guys, I think the Havoc Pump is better than the Spaz. You can see also Mr. Savage also with the Havoc Pump equipped. And both have these splashes, guys. I think the new slap splashes are pretty good. You should definitely carry them every time. Probably they didn't found big pot because, no one of them has have big pots. That would be pretty good. Maybe just unlucky with the chests. Let's take a look how they take the fight. So Verdiel gets beamed, insta-build. Now Mr. Savage turns around and basically wants to help his mate so Verdiel does not get insta-push. Because obviously, if you say like, okay, Mr. Savage 1v1s this guy, and they do like a separate 1v1, obviously Verdiel is low and this guy has 200 HP. So it's nice that Mr. Savage helps him here at the beginning. But then, you see, he doesn't instantly run at the enemy and think like, okay, maybe we can 2v1 the guy because obviously they're pretty split, the enemy team. Instead, he turns around because he knew, okay, the other guy will now run from behind. And if Mr. Savage kept running, he probably would get beamed from behind. So instead, he tries to look for a shot, which does not work. And sees, okay, the other guy's built above, so he just builds for a second. And Verdiel uses the moment in which Mr. Savage got sprayed to give the other guy a big pump. Because you can see this guy was not really aware. He was shooting at Mr. Savage, so he didn't even think about Verdiel because he knew, okay, I hit Verdiel for like 100 at the beginning. So he probably boxed up first and maybe like here. But okay, Verdiel gets a pretty easy kill. Also bad awareness from the enemy. And now it's a 2v1. But you can see, guys, Mr. Savage doesn't instantly jump in the box. Instead, he builds up, stays on high ground, and basically is waiting for Verdiel to come. Especially in 2v1, guys, you can often spray like from 2 different angles. You get the kill pretty easy, as it's the case here. And with this strategy, there's like 0 risk of him dying here in a 1v1. So now they're really stacked up, you can see. Capped heal. Good weapons. Capped ammo, capped mats. You can also see both of them decide to play triple heal, guys. Not like a third weapon or any other item like the sniper maybe. Or the invincible things. Just because FNCS is so stacked, you can see still 86 players live. Okay, which not the stackest game, but FNCS is always stacked. At least more than in the cash cup. So people will tag you and you need more heals. Because everyone's looking like for surge tags and shit. So they set up themselves on top of South Slappy basically. Also, if you take a look at the zone, it's pretty obvious. You can see that the zone will probably put like, into east direction. Basically where Verdiel and Savage already boxed up, you can see. They went from Naughty Nets, instead of going to like center, which you may think, okay, center is always good. They went to like Slappy Shores because they probably already knew, okay, zone will probably pull there. So then they're ahead of all the teams which still need to go in. And can hold the teams in later zones. And basically don't need to rotate. Because, every rotation is kind of hard. Because there's no movement, or no real movement, except like the mats and the rifts. So they can save some heals. Also, you can see, okay, zone pulls full Slappy. Their plan definitely worked. So now the cache is spawning. Mr. Savage tries to go for the cache. Yeah, Verdiel comes to help him. At this point, they don't even need to go for the cache, guys. They probably feel pretty confident in fighting this team here, because I knew, okay, it's opens. The players are still not like, I mean, not on Mr. Search and Vill's level. So I mean, they had cap loot, they could just stay on top of Slappy and take like 0 risk, but obviously with gold weapons and slurp juices, they have a higher chance of winning the game. So you can basically see they don't even try to insta-fight the team. Instead, like Vadir, he's taking the piece control, make sure like all the edits around the cache it's their edits, so they can get the loot basically. You see, I don't think they replace the enemy directly. Instead, they just claim everything around the cache. I mean, by this way, they get the loot guaranteed and they don't even really need to fight the team. You can see they play pretty slow, pretty safe. There's actually a pre-edit wall in the floor, that's kinda shit. You can't replace it. But they're able to get all the loot. And now just disengage, because this box fight would be pretty scuffed. So instead they go back and try to refarm their mats. Which is pretty easy, because they're like on the full edge of the zone. Where probably like 0 enemies will be. So now the island spawned, guys. Island also gives 15 points. You need to be aware of that. 15 points is a lot of points. So it's definitely worth going for it if you feel confident. And maybe your lobby is not the best. Island, guys, one tip I can give you about Island. Whoever gets the island is most of the times the guys who are on the island as the first team. So if you want to go for an island, guys, make sure to be there instant when it spawns, so you can go up as one of the first teams. So you can see Vadir instantly hits the rift. Also, guys, one thing often FN says, when many people go for the island, it's not the best to use these ziplines. You can oftentimes die because when there's so many teams around it. So you could see they probably scouted, okay, one team is there shooting. I mean, there are like teams everywhere, one team behind. I think there was even, oh, there's no team there now. But like one team right next to them. So if they use zipline, they basically die. So instead they wait for the rift, then instantly rift on island. I mean, now they're on top of it. Instantly claiming like the flag, you can see Mr. Savage building around like all like full brick boxes. And even now, okay, 2 more teams comes. But I mean, they have the piece control on the flag. So this basically means that they will win the flag 100%. Okay, Mario's kind of crazy, actually jumps in. This is some sort of refights. So many people are going for it right now. Another tip, guys, if you see like, okay, maybe it's impossible for me to claim the island. I mean, if you like this team, well, the chance of getting the island is like 0%. You can also just go for the vault. It's oftentimes pretty good. And not really any teams take it. You need 2 keys, guys. 2 keys, and you can open this vault on the island below. Which gives you like a good refresh. You can see 3 chests, the epic chest, and some barrels and some metal to refarm. Like in total, there's like 250 metal, maybe 200. I'm not sure exactly. And also one advantage of the vaults also, you can claim all the space. First of all, you can get free tags if you build like to the edge, and you have the pet for later zones. So I recommend you do like boxes around, and then you have also this brick, guys. All these bricks here on the side of the island, you should know, they give like 80 brick each. So you basically have like endless brick here, because it's so OP, these bricks. So you can make brick box basically everywhere and claim all the space. Now the island fight's pretty scuffed. It's not really, at this point it's not really worth. But oftentimes, guys, I can guarantee you, maybe, I mean, it didn't happen in this game, but oftentimes if you build like full metal boxes around the flag already, other teams won't even go for it. Because they see, okay, these teams are so boxed up, it's not even worth fighting for it. And also when you shoot them in the sky, so every time you're on the island as the first team, you should definitely shoot the people in the air and try to beam them already, or maybe kill one. Okay, they end up leaving the island because there are so many teams and run back to their old place where they can refarm. It's not worth full committing to like the islands or like a world or anything else to then waste the whole game. So now I use the rifts on the island, which is pretty good. Oftentimes, especially like in the 6th zone, guys, it's always this zone, where it's like 50-50 zone. You can use the rift of the island, then glide in, and especially if Storm Surge is active now, basically no one can hit you because the servers lag so hard. I mean, you probably already know it. So basically no one in the air can really shoot them. I mean, even if they look up, you can see probably blanks, or they just have no aim at this point. But probably blank, at least oftentimes blank. And now the 50-50 zone, because they were so high in the air, they can fly all the way into that side. So basically the side of the zone which was in zone before. So you can see they're rather on the left hand side, which was just in zone, instead on the right hand side. Okay, they get keyed now a bit, was kind of dumped by the other team. And now guys, because they land on the left side, they can easily rotate over the dead side. Because you can see like on left side, there's basically 0 teams. Maybe this team, maybe, yeah, the 1 team in front. But that's not really much for the 7th zone. So you can see they can easily rotate and even farm mats this late into the game. And get their mats back up, which they lost on the island. Because the island was kind of grified. So the rotation is pretty free. Didn't waste a lot of heals. Didn't waste a lot of mats. Maybe they didn't do the best rotations, because in my opinion, I mean, if you look at it, they start like... Oh, I can't zoom in more. If you look at my mouse, they start like here, the rotation. They could have wrapped like all around on the left side and then get into the zone like here on the edge. Instead, they went like through the middle kinda. So all the teams which are like here, if you remember, all the teams were here before, they run like kinda into them, so then could get kinda griefed. I think around the left side, maybe follow the team which was on the left side before, could have been better. But I mean, they got line of sights here from like the underground, so this was an advantage of their rotation. Now they hold some kids and zone pulls far again. And they instantly early rotates, especially in this zone, guys. Early rotates is the key. You should always go early. It's like one of the most important lessons. So you can see they have a free rotation. They went early. All the other teams, guys, look at the minimap. They're still stuck behind. They will have a hard rotation. But Massage was able to go early. And now follow this team's builds, which is pretty effective. They even get a kill here. Yeah, okay, this guy... Yeah, this guy is kinda lost. Not much to say about it. Good beam. Sees the opportunity for a refresh and goes for it. Especially in these late lobbies, if you hit one guy like 1 HP, you can just spray at the wall. And most of the times a shot will connect every time. Especially if you have the LMG or the SMG. With the MK, it's a bit harder, but still doable. So now they even look for more refreshes. Can't really find... Okay, they actually find one. You can see cracked again. They saw his teammate goes ahead already, so they know, okay, this guy will be solo for a while. Because, I mean, this guy is full in zone. Now probably the mates calls, oh, I need help, I need help. I mean, yeah, they get the kill. There's not much to say about refresh like this. I mean, they just killed the team. Not really any fundamental of the games. Good fighting skills. Just good fighting skills, which will come with time if you practice enough. In ranked or cups. And now they actually pulled zone, which is kind of lucky. So they go ahead, first moving zone. claiming front side, you see. Also, they're not waiting too long until the zone catches up with their box. So you could see, so Savage Vadil, they box up like here, but instead of waiting till the very end to rotate, they decide to go early, or like kinda early. At least not full late, so they don't get hold. Okay, what the fuck was this team doing? Now they're boxing, guys. New zone. New zone announced now. You can see my search is already ready with the edit. Always when the new moving zone transitions, you should be ready to rotate instantly. And be like the first teams. And be the first team to go. Because then you can claim a free layer. Okay, Savage didn't go instantly. They decided to go for a high ground play. Which is fair enough. Maybe it's not the best to go here for a high ground play. I think, okay, we have good mats. Obviously, if you have good mats, it's a sign that you can go for high ground because we'll probably have more mats than the kids on high ground. And they have the slurps. So with slurps, you can do pretty good in-zone high ground take. But I don't think it's the best. I mean, they didn't really scout on high ground. I mean, if you see, they didn't look once through their cone. So basically, they didn't really get awareness on high ground before, which is kind of bad. Every time you go for high ground play, you should check what the team on high ground is doing, like if they look stacked and shit like that. Instead, they go around and now ramp up, which is an interesting play. I think, in my opinion, they should have just went right side when the zone announced. So new moving zone, they were like first team. Instantly went because Seamer Savage had the edit on the wall, so they could be first and then go around the right side. Where's that side? You can see right side basically no one. Then claim like maybe even low ground like Mixer is doing, or like one layer above them. But instead I go here for this, yeah, kind of weird play in my opinion. Sneak up below high ground, using basically the cover of high ground themselves. But I mean, if there's like a good team on high ground, they should see it in my opinion. You can see, okay, they even saw it now. So they canceled the whole high ground retake. Yeah, now it's just kinda a mess. They didn't really scout if they could go for high ground. Now they have a full congested side, wasted some mats. They're even kinda late, they could get sprayed in this position. If there were like a team like in front now and spraying them. Definitely right side here would be way better. This was like a small mistake for Mr. Savage. But I mean, it still works because it's open, so lobby is not the best. So they can chill, get ahead front side. But you can see, because they're not on that side now in this moving zone, the rotation is kind of scuffed. I mean, they could die here basically at any moment. So Savage running full on like tabs, which are not even them. They could get ulted down. Or like Kylie plays one cone above them. So Savage is basically dead. Luckily, it doesn't happen in this case. Okay, Vadil tabs and box someone by accident. That's also interesting. I mean, I still have good mats now because of this refresh. So they run ahead. Now it's good that they claim front side. They look for high ground again. They really want this high ground this game. So now this better, like they see high ground, okay. So now if you compare this high ground retake to the other one before, this kind of better because they looked at high ground, saw okay, they are high up, not really connected, so they could split them out. Instead of before, they like just went for high ground without really checking there's an opportunity, and then, I mean, it even failed because it was just not the best timing, just not the best play. But I mean, this time they split them, so it works. They crank up like front sides, also good that they went ahead before. And obviously with their mats, they can claim high ground here. Sales gets in some troubles, but they're chilling. Now just make sure to keep applying pressure to the people below you. A team on second high, which team stacked. Should always look like for the teams in brick boxes, because or like in metal boxes with full tarps, because these are the teams which could go for high ground replay, high ground retake, because it's an indicator that it's an indicator that they still have a lot of mats and they're like full tarp like this team. I mean, they're looking down, so not really any risk. But I should definitely spray this team now. Okay, zone pulls back. Every time zone pulls back, can basically keep high ground pretty safe. It's not the best time to go for a high ground retake, because high ground has the old builds. Only thing, guys, you need to be aware of when zone pulls back and you're on high ground is to check like in zone if people are playing, if people like sneaking up from in zone. Because when zone pulls back, you can get high ground by sneaking up playing like old builds and shit. You need to be aware of that. So I mean, you can see Vadil, he's checking backside, not the whole time. But you can see Vadil, he's not spraying the whole time like Mr. Savage does. He's also checking behind, trying to prevent people from sneaking up. Because I mean, now it pulled back, so people could easily like go up from behind, hide behind these old metal boxes, pop a slurp, mat mist, and then like get a beam on them. But Vadil does a good job by looking back, scouting, seeing okay, there's no one, and they're chilling. Yeah, now 2v2. Let's see what I do to win the 2v2. One thing, Mr. Savage already pops the slurp before the fight even began. Basically pre-popping the slurp. Because obviously they can't really pop it in the fight. So it's good to do it before. Okay, and then just kill it, this team. Nothing really... Not really a crazy play. Clean 2v2 win. One guy died to zone Hootie. Yeah, it was kind of free. Make sure to leave a sub and a like. Write a comment if you still have any questions. I will reply to all of you. Or just a nice comment for the algorithm. I would appreciate it. And best of luck for FNCS. I hope you all qualify to round 2.